Why has Russia's arsenal not declined despite sanctions? The British government has announced what it calls the biggest sanctions ever, to ensure that foreign military equipment does not reach Russia. The ban was imposed last Tuesday, targeting some businesses and traders in Turkey, Dubai, Slovakia and Switzerland. Britain's Foreign Secretary James Cleverley said the move would further shrink Russia's arsenal and sever the web of supply lines Putin has created to re-energize his now floundering defense sector. Single quote. But the point is that Russia is still procuring the military parts and logistics it needs to continue the war even after the United Kingdom, America and the European Union have imposed various sanctions one after the other. The explanation of how this is happening is complicated, but behind it is Russia's never-waning ability to acquire Western technology, especially small but important technologies like microchips. Much of Russia's arsenal, including ballistic and cruise missiles, uses electronic components made in America, Britain, Germany, the Netherlands, Japan, Israel and China. The KSE Institute in Kiev and the Yermak Macphail International Working Group on Russian Sanctions analyzed 58 Russian weapons seized in June and found 1,057 separate foreign components among them. About half of these components are microchips and processors, and about two-thirds of them are made by American companies. Not only that, but the top 5 companies on the list are all American, including Analog Devices, Texas Instruments and Intel. The researchers looked at parts and components used in Russian weapons since Russia began full-scale war in Ukraine in February last year and uncovered similar data. Because of export controls on most of these critical military components, Russia is not buying them directly from any Western supplier. Instead, Russia now buys these parts through an extensive network of third countries. For example, in April this year, Nikkei company learned that 75% of American microchips are being supplied to Russia via Hong Kong or China. Nikkei's investigative team found that a number of small and medium-sized logistics companies had sprung up after Russia attacked Ukraine, sometimes operating from unnamed and anonymous offices in Hong Kong. Other studies have also shown that Russia purchases such critical components for purely civilian uses, such as for use in the country's space program. According to the KSE and Yermak Macphail report, numerous firms appear willing to take significant risks in order to meet Russian buying demand. Quote. According to the research report, these institutions are spread in different parts of the world such as Czech Republic, Serbia, Armenia, Kazakhstan, Turkey, India and China. It is clear from Britain's latest announcement of sanctions that Ukraine's Western allies are increasingly concerned about the role of third countries in supplying such parts or military equipment. The 2 Turkish organizations that have been sanctioned recently are Turkic Union and Azu International. Their role in the export of microelectronics to Russia, necessary for Russian military operations in Ukraine, is highlighted here. Asht Kritishev, a Slovakian citizen, has been listed as allegedly involved in attempted arms deals with Russia and North Korea. In May, the UK, US and EU jointly released a list of 38 critical parts in the most demand, and warned companies to take precautions to ensure that these parts do not end up in Russia. Quote. This list includes a variety of related electronic circuits, semiconductors, lasers, and directional devices. Western officials say progress has been made and point to a decree issued by Turkey's president earlier this year to stop the passage of some goods covered by EU, British and US embargoes through Turkey. They also say that Russia is still able to import significant quantities of semiconductors, but they are not always of high quality. An official said, Russia's semiconductor imports started to increase towards the end of last year, but by January-February this year, the amount has decreased by 2/3. Single quote.